Om Shanti. So, welcome all of you to the Values for Life series, episode 108. And we are so fortunate that we have our very dear, tireless server, Jayanti Didi, joining us from Madhuban. Thank you so much, Didi, for being with us. She's with us. I'm sure they are setting up the camera and other things. Okay, if you can just spotlight the organizers. Yeah. First of all, let me give you a background. Didi has just reached India today. And she's really such a tireless server that she said, yes, I'm committed to this. But it's just that she's got many meetings back to back. So we had to prepone the session from 7:30 India time to 8:30. So here she's with us. And just to give you a background that this is the last episode now. Sorry, is she being spotlighted because she had joined? I saw in the waiting list she was there. Maybe she's just logged off again.
Yeah, the video is not on, so I can't spotlight, but
You can see her name, right? You can see her name. No,
no.
I saw it. Maybe it came for a brief minute and went off. Well, anyway, so she will be with us soon in a minute. So she's very pressed with time today. So we have to finish probably. Yeah. So people are saying in the message to me
She's
that her
here,
name is there.
but
She's
the
here. So
video
it's
is
okay.
not on. Yeah, soon.
Please just spotlight her so that in the blank video is fine. So, I mean, Sister Jayanti doesn't need any introduction to this audience. She's been with us so many times. She's the additional administrative head of Brahma Kumaris, and also she wears many feathers in the cap of Seva. That is, she's also the regional coordinator for the entire Europe and the UK, and also the Middle East. And as we speak, she will be soon with us. And I just wanted to start the poem. All of you, just let me tell you about this value sustenance. We are finishing this series now, and this series have actually sustained all of us in a very big way. All of us have really taken advantage since last 4 years and 4 months through this series. And as always, a poem in her memorial, in her remembrance, and on the value of sustenance. So, in today's world where there's so much of disharmony and dissonance, where towards each other's behaviors, there's indeed so much of resistance. People are in a lot of chaos and going through a lot of sufferance where they feel muted and a lack of utterance. Didi comes with this spectacular energy of sustenance, which helps the souls feel the warmth of assistance and thereby lead a life on the basis of spiritual governance and healing wounded relationships and undergoing 360-degree maintenance. But to achieve this, the Supreme Father, through his insistence, wants us to do one thing: give up our vices by the method of abstinence. So here you are. And Sister Jayanti, thank you so much for joining. And since we are a little bit late, so I think you have time till 8:30. So we'll be not having question answers today. So Didi will be just starting the talk soon. And before that, I'll just invite Sister Claudia to please welcome Didi with flowers. Over to you, Sister Claudia.
Good evening, Sister Janti. We are here in India, ORC. It's so much a pleasure to hear from you. And everybody is running to hear you talking about this value that because you sustain us so much. I don't think anyone can say that they did not get sustenance from you when they look for you. Sometimes don't even need to talk to you, just to see you is a way to sustain us too. So I don't want to talk too much because we are looking forward to hear from you. But I like to offer you a nice bouquet of flowers from our, let me see here the camera. This is from ORC. There's a special one for ORC. So I'm here for a silence retreat, but it's starting tomorrow. But get our flowers together with all the love we have for you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Claudia. It's a pleasure to be here with you and to receive the beautiful flowers, especially the big dahlia in the middle from ORC. Thank you. And my apologies to keeping everyone waiting and for having to leave early today. But I want to say a word of appreciation for Dr. Manoj Mehtani and also for all the team that have been supporting with IT, but also a special thank you to Dr. Ashok Mehta, because I know he has supported the whole Vario series for the last 4+ years. And I know that, as Dr. Manoj said, a lot of people have taken a huge amount of benefit, and so much appreciation of all that has happened. And it has been amazing sustenance all this time. And so, where do we begin? Well, everything in terms of spirituality always begins with the self. And I remember one year we'd come back from Madhuban, and we were talking about what it is that we had taken from Madhuban. And the subject at that time had been sustenance. And so the one thing that struck us all was how all the daddies, and of course we had the fortune of having all the daddies there at that time, and the topic that they had taken up had been, well, where does sustenance begin? And it begins by being able to sustain myself. And of course, yes, we have Baba who offers us unlimited sustenance. In so many Avyakt Muralis, Baba tells us that he's the one who gave us spiritual birth, and as our mother and father, Bap Dada, are sustaining us. And so how much do we value the sustenance that we receive directly from the divine and from angelic Brahma Baba? So Bap Dada together sustain us every single day. And so how do we begin the day? We begin with Amrit Vela, and at Amrit Vela we can feel how much Baba loves us and how Brahma Baba wants to make us Apsaman, Bapsaman, like the Father, and become angels ourselves. And so are we able to take the sustenance from Baba directly? It's a little bit tricky because for the whole wide world, yes, Brahma Baba is the spiritual instrument through whom Shiv Baba has worked and given us so much. But in fact, Brahma Baba also has 1,001 arms. In Bhakti, they show Brahma with multiple arms. And so here's Brahma Baba saying, don't think about me, don't remember me, remember the one. But then Brahma Baba also personally, physically, didn't travel across the globe. He had many, many instruments. And here in this program, I can see many, many instruments who've been with Baba, being Baba's instruments. And so just as Brahma Baba himself said, connect with the one, connect with the divine, and don't think about the intermediary. Because in India, when they used to have arranged marriages, they still do actually, but there's always an agent in between. Nowadays, it's not so much agents, it's more relatives or mutual friends who create the connection and the engagement happens. But in those days, there used to be very many agents who did this work as their profession. And so Brahma Baba used to say, I'm simply the agent. I've told you about Shiv Baba, but I'm not the one who can give you anything. And so connect with one. And then with 1,001 different agents, all of us were instruments of Baba, our agents. And so we're simply that. What we have to do is to ensure whoever it is we give spiritual knowledge to, we're connecting them with one. Just as for us, it was easier to connect with the human or the angel Brahma Baba, but Baba kept reminding us, Man, Manabhav, connect with the one. So if I want to sustain myself, I have to make sure that whoever was the agent who connected me with Brahma Baba, with Shiv Baba, that doesn't become a hindrance or a barrier for me, that I'm able to rise above them, above all the instruments, whether it was the human instrument or many instruments, but I connect with Shiv Baba directly. And if I can do this, and also with Brahma Baba, for us, yes, still, the way to Shiv Baba is via Brahma Baba. And so take drishti from Brahma Baba and focus on Brahma Baba's forehead, and you'll connect with Shiv Baba. But we must make sure that we don't get trapped by anybody else as the agent, but also as agents ourselves, we mustn't become the stumbling block for anyone else and not allow them to connect with Shiv Baba. So my job is to sustain myself, but I'll only be able to sustain myself if I have that direct connection with one. So can I remember that, and can I practice this, the connection with one? And if I can have Amrit Vela in that connection with one, but also, yes, with Brahma Baba as the guiding angel in front of me and following in the steps of Brahma Baba, then I'm able to sustain myself directly with Shiv Baba's love and Shiv Baba's power. And of course, Baba's also been emphasizing in recent Murlis about the teachings that we've received, the unlimited teachings of the divine, and then further, the directions of Srimad from the One. And so these three things I need to check in order to be able to keep myself on track and sustain myself. In Sakar Murlis, Baba says, it's a long journey, yet it's an easy journey. But why does it become difficult so often? Easy because God Himself is sustaining me. God Himself is my teacher. God Himself is giving me absolute, clear information and guidance. In fact, we would say directions, Srimad. If I'm observing these three things, yes, sustenance is important through the Mata Pita, the mother and father, the love, the care, the attention that Baba gives me, the support that Baba gives me, all that is part of the sustenance from Bap Dada. Think about the times when you thought something was difficult and then it turned out to be so easy. Why? Because you were following God's teachings, keeping the third eye open, not being drawn by these two eyes by any physical form. You were following Baba's instructions to be able to maintain that attitude of pure brotherly vision towards all. And whatever it is you set out, you were able to accomplish it very, very easily. And then the second, the teachings of the divine. You made sure that you were studying every day, and then according to God's guidance, you were following those directions throughout the day. So the early morning, the time of sustenance from Bap Dada as mother and father, and then the morning class, the teachings of the Supreme Teacher, and through the whole day, what is it that I'm doing? Am I following Srimad, or am I being sidetracked by the dictates of my own mind and also the influence of others? We are used to having human connection. We're used to being influenced by others or being the influencer. This time I was noticing in London that there was an advert on the buses. Do you want to be an influencer? And I'd never seen that before. It's a new language that's come up with social media, being an influencer. And of course, in that term, they were talking about social influence in terms of being fashionable. Do you want to have training in a fashion degree so that you can be an influencer? And here is Baba saying, no, don't allow yourself to be under the influence of anyone, but equally, make sure that you aren't being an influencer in terms of your human company and vibrations. Let it be the one supreme who is the influencer for you, and make sure that whoever else you're bringing to Baba also is influenced only by God and not by you. So through the day, a checking point would be, is this what Baba says? Is this what Srimad says? Or is it something else? And so yes, Baba's concerned with your total well-being. And so Baba's not just saying, listen to morning class and that's it. But no, whatever you've heard in morning class is setting the compass straight for you to be able to follow the guidelines of Srimad through the day. And if at times you thought, oh, I can do this, and it seems there's one obstacle after another that comes. And so what happened there? Baba's told us very clearly. You forgot that it's Baba in charge and Baba's responsible. Baba's making things move. And so how come this word I came in? So pure sustenance for myself means recognizing what am I taking from the one. And so my energy then focused on one, and Baba will sustain me, whether it's through difficult patches or through happy patches, whatever it is, but Baba will carry me through it all, so that truly it's as if I'm moving on a cloud until I grow my own wings and I can fly like an angel. But at first, God has to carry me. I can't become an angel otherwise. And certainly I can't become an angel with manmat or barmat. Sometimes we feel that I owe someone a debt of gratitude. And so we are open to an influence from them. But no, if they help me come closer to Baba, Baba made them an instrument. And yes, I'm grateful and I'll give thanks from my heart. But being influenced by them is very different, just to be able to appreciate and have gratitude. And so through the day, just keep checking. What would Baba say? What would Baba do? How did Baba do it? How can I do the same? And so if that's the thought in my mind, I'll keep moving forward and reach my destination. Just imagine to move from being a mortal to being immortal soul, the journey from being a mortal to becoming an immortal deity soul, Dev Atma. And yes, there's a lifespan there that's fixed, but the feeling is of moving from one body into another baby one. And so we use the term the eternal immortal deities. So the sustenance of the self is of primary importance, because if I don't have that connection with one, if I'm dependent on any human being, definitely things are going to go awry. Things are not going to be as I would like them to be or as Baba wants them to be. Why? Because I forgot that Baba is my support. I decided it's easier for me to take support from a human being. But today, they're with me. Tomorrow, they may not be. Today, they give me their attention. Tomorrow, they might not. And so can I make sure that I'm able to sustain myself in the right way? Yes, I'm totally dependent on God, but God is never going to let me down. And God is totally perfect. This is why Baba says, sometimes out of the multi-millions, a handful belong to me, but out of the handful, only a few recognize me as I truly am. And so to know that God is my sustainer, my teacher, and my guide, this is the basic foundation. And I mustn't allow any human interference to come in between. And then if that's what I'm sharing with others, I'm making sure that they stay focused on one rather than me, then that's going to be saving grace for me, but also wonderful for them. But it's also going to be helpful for me, because if somebody is dependent on me, how long can I sustain them? It's not possible. I'm not going to be able to be always there for them when they need me. I'm not always able to satisfy their demands in the way that is needed. And so I then get the reaction of their anger or disappointment, and of course is very damaging for me. But their dependency on me also means that I'm being shadowed by them. There's a shadow over me that's not allowing me to take direct power from God. And so this whole subject of being able to sustain myself means to understand all these subtle energies. And this is why Baba again and again emphasizes Sakar Murlis, Avyakt Murlis. Who are you connecting with? Man Manabhav. Connect with the one and take all you need from the source. You know, there's a story about a beggar being in line, and he saw that the line was very long. There was a day that was fixed. Usually it's Saturday. In India, they say that Saturday is the best day for donation because those omens are heavy. And if you give donation, the omens are removed. Of course, on a spiritual level, it means my donation of the vices to God and God's sustenance and allowing me to receive blessings. But humans from the Copper Age onwards have interpreted everything in a limited way. And so I remember as a child going to my grandmother, and every Saturday morning she would be sitting just outside her gate, her door, and there would be a line of people. And she would be giving donation of money, of grains, food, and so on. And it was always a Saturday morning. And so this king had a day fixed when he was giving a donation. And the first week, the beggar saw it's a very, very long queue, and he went away. And the king was a bit surprised. Why should he leave? There was enough for everyone, even though it was a long queue. Next week, the same thing happened. Third week, the same thing happened. This time, the king was a little bit aware, and so he had alerted someone out of his team to make sure that if they saw this beggar leave, they would speak to him and tell him to wait so that the king would speak to him. And so he did this. The attendant spoke to the beggar because he was preparing to leave. And in that little discussion, the king asked him, but let there be enough patience to wait. There's enough for all. So why do you leave? And the beggar said, well, I could see that there was enough for all, but it set me thinking, where is the king receiving all this from? And the first time I saw this long queue, I thought, okay, I'll go away and think about it. The second time, the same. I still hadn't found an answer. But today I got my answer. You are receiving from the one. And so I think to myself, can I also, instead of being a beggar and take from you, connect with the one so that I also am filled with the abundance of his grace? And so the lesson for me that yes, I can depend on this one, that one, and whoever, but where are they getting what it is they have from? And we know in Gyan, it's very clear. Every single instrument, every single agent is simply an instrument for the divine. In Bhakti, we don't always remember this. In Gyan and every Murli, Baba reminds us of this. So in this way, yes, truly, I can sustain myself. And it's these two things that sustain me hugely. My time in silence with God, and secondly, my study of the Murli. And if I can pay attention to these two things, then yes, I'll be able to sustain myself each and every day with some newness. You know, if you were to get just simply bread and butter every day for every meal, you wouldn't be very happy with that. One day, it's okay. 2 days, you begin to be a bit concerned. But by the third day, you'll say, what's going on? Okay, I'll cook something for myself. I won't wait for somebody else to do any cooking. and you'll start doing something. Same thing. Baba finds different ways, different avenues to open up our intellect so that from being in the limited, mundane, physical dimension, Baba's able to lift me into the spiritual dimension. And through being in the spiritual dimension, yes, I can be uplifted. So sustenance is for upliftment. Sustenance is for me to be able to have the courage, the strength, the power to be able to keep moving forward. It's not just enough just to sustain myself and say, well, I do hear Murli every day, I meditate every day, but I'm stuck in the same groove. That's not sustenance. If a mother were to feed a child and say, well, I'm sustaining the child, but I don't see the child growing taller. I don't see the child managing to move forward in terms of development of the intellect. And so sustenance isn't just for stability in the sense of being stuck in a groove, but sustenance is to be able to grow and develop and move forward. Mama used to say, if I've made a mistake once, okay, let me learn from it. But I can't repeat the same mistake and say, Baba, well, I'm still learning. But how come I didn't learn from the first error that I made? And so sustenance means to grow and develop and move forward every single day. If there isn't something new that I've learned each day, it means I'm stuck. Because we are lifelong learners, lifelong students, as we saw the daddies. Imagine Dadi Janki, 104 years and still studying the Murli. Now that truly is lifelong learning. And so can I do the same for myself? And so in that awareness, I'm able to keep moving forward. And if I'm I'm blazing the trail and moving forward, then it's actually not a new trail that I'm blazing. I'm following in Baba's footsteps. But if others see me move forward in this way, they will also say, yes, indeed, this is the way to go. And so keep moving forward is to sustain myself. And then, yes, Baba has given us a beautiful, beautiful family. Baba has also taught us how to serve people from across the world. Baba also has taught us how not just to serve our contact souls, but also to serve people we don't know. So what do? We make sure that our thoughts through Mansa Seva, our words through being able to share Baba's teachings of truth, and then my life, my actions, my behavior, all of these are revealing Baba. And if I'm able to reveal Baba, truly, many other instruments are prepared to be able to reveal Baba. Again, the image of Dadi Janki in front of me, and the angel Dadi is sustaining us, but also Dadi Janki is sustaining many, many souls who knew her and loved her in her angelic form. But also sometimes when we do service where there are unexpected magical moments, and here's somebody who we didn't really expect at all, and yet suddenly we see that they've become very close, they've become very cooperative. How did it happen? It happened through the touchings from Baba and all the galaxy of angels that Baba has collected in the subtle region. And so can I be a sustainer through my thoughts, my words, my actions? The whole of January was very beautiful because we were all feeling Bap Dada's angelic sustenance, especially. We can feel it any time, any day, but especially through the month of January, carrying special blessings. We could feel it so much. How do they do it? They practice being in the remembrance of one, Brahma Baba included. Can I stay in the remembrance of the one? And through that practice, Baba was sending out those vibrations. the Muralis tell us very clearly the service that Baba did through the mind, the Sakash, the pure love, the light, the purity. Sakash is not just love, Sakash is not just light, but it has multiple functions and purposes. And so Sakash is sending out whatever it is I've taken from Baba to share that with the world, not just with one individual or two individuals, or even a group of people in a particular place or country. Yes, sometimes if somebody is ill, we say, bring them in front of you. For how long? 30 seconds. 30 seconds, no more. Because I'm not giving, I'm being a channel, and I'm not only giving to one. Baba is giving, and Baba's giving to the unlimited. And so someone's in need of help, Baba says, yes, send them a searchlight. And of course, a searchlight is very much focusing in one place. So that's fine. But Baba wants us to be lighthouses, not just a searchlight. And so to be able to give light to the world, that is sustenance through the mind. Whoever it is I meet, can I say something that's valuable to them? Something that's going to be uplifting for them? Something that's going to open the third eye and allow them to really, truly see. And so in that sense, I serve through my words and through my actions. You know, people value your walk more than your talk because they've been hearing talk for so long. But when they see someone demonstrate something from their own life, there's a little action you did. Maybe you reached out to somebody who you thought they weren't happy as they normally are. So you take the time to have a word with them. Are you okay? Is everything fine? And probably the first answer you'll get is, of course I'm fine. But you know that they're not. That's the sense you're getting, the vibration you're feeling. It shows on their face. And so spend a little bit of time with them. Or maybe you can't at that moment. Just say, would you like to come and have a chat later on? And so whatever it is that works out for you and for them, but can I make space to be able to give time where it is needed? And can I bring another soul closer to the one? Not to me. And if I keep doing this, my face, my behavior, my vibrations, sometimes you don't need to say anything, just your presence. But all of this is able to serve and be able to sustain others on their journey. I think if I were to just add one little phrase to this word, sustenance, to sustain myself and others on the journey to mukti and jivan mukti, to my own state of perfection and completion, and help them move towards perfection and completion also, then I think that truly we're doing a very good job of sustaining ourselves and also sustaining everyone, not just those whom I live with, but a wider circle. My friends, the Brahmin family worldwide, but Baba, the sun, is up above and showering light and might on everyone. And of course, we know that it's not just on humans, it's also on the animal kingdom and every single being on the planet, but also, of course, nature. January started with a wildfire, and I don't need to go into the details of that. You know about it all. But of course, I was just a precursor of what's to come, because what's happening in one part of the world, we know can happen in other parts of the world very quickly. When there's a wildfire and there's a wind that's like a hurricane wind at the same time, what's going to happen? Well, we saw what can happen. So whether it's in a country that is in the east or in the west. You don't know what's going to happen in terms of how and what and when, but we know from Baba's clarity that seeing the three aspects of time, we know what we need to do in the present and prepare for the future. And so to sustain myself at the present moment is to be able to sow the seeds for the future, where, yes, the rulers of the golden age are not just recognized as the ones with spiritual authority or the authority over the land and the people there, but first and foremost, they are sustainers. The emperor and empress have wonderful titles and wonderful things around them and all the trappings of that position, but they're not trapped by it because they've studied the confluence age. Mama and Baba, the first emperor and empress, have studied now to be able to serve and give and remain detached, to be able to give everyone love but have them connected with one. So they're the sustainers, the first sustainers of the in terms of history from Bharat in the golden age. The sustainer now is God directly, which is why Baba values Sangam Yug more even than Satyug. And of course, we know that in Satyug we'll still be with humans, but now at the confluence age we are with God. And so to be able to have that experience of sustenance in such a beautiful way means that, yes, I can then be able to sustain others. And the proof of sustenance in the right way is that there will be love, but there will be detachment. There will be no attachment. Where sustenance isn't quite okay, then yes, there'll be a giving, but there'll be an expectation of some return from the human being. And then I'm not on track. But to be able to give with no expectations, but also to be able to receive and know that it's actually coming from the one above and not from this human, means that everything goes very well. And of course, I reach my karmatit stage, and also I enable others to move forward and reach it also. And so each day, proof of the sustenance I'm taking from God is that I'm moving forward. And proof of the sustenance that I'm giving is accurate, is that no one is dependent on me, but yes, everybody is able to take from the one. So I want to congratulate Dr. Manoj, but also the whole team. Nothing can happen alone. Whatever I try and do on my own is going to be very limited. But if there's a team with whom there's cooperation and collaboration, yes, everybody gives a little finger, but collaboration, when you come together, there's magic that happens. It's not just you giving your little finger, but when there's a multiplication of energies in a team, the energy of the team creates something new, something that was not expected, something that was beyond anything that the sum total of the multiple parts could have done. But there's a different magic, a different energy, because collaboration together means something new. And so God's revelation happens through, yes, first step, cooperation, but then the next step is collaboration. And with everyone collaborating, sharing the best that they have, knowing that in the final mix, it has to be God's magic. And so I know that we're entering not just the last chapter. I've had the sense of the last chapter since 99% of the daddies, I would even say 99.5% of the daddies all flew to the subtle region. Why I say that is because out of 350 who were Baba's original companions, who started the yajna, laid the foundation for us to be here, out of that 350, one is still with us in the physical form, Tadi Ratan Mohini Ji. And you can work out what is 1 out of 350. It's not even 1%, is it? It's 0.1 something something. You'll know better than me. So my point is that the last chapter for me started with Dadi Gulzar's departure from the physical dimension, because that really was something that was a new era beginning. We were so used to being able to send a message, get an answer. Baba answered. And then Baba said, well, you've had everything from me. What more is it that I can give you? I can just remind you of the things that I've been teaching you and telling you. And so that change for me, March 11th, 2021, was the beginning of the final chapter. Baba had played the role of father, mother, teacher, and guide through the Sakar, through the Avyakt, and now Baba's saying, sustain yourself so that then you can become the rulers of the self. Until I learn to sustain myself, I can't be the ruler of myself. I can't be the self-sovereign. And then, yes, you will be able to be the masters of the world. And so in these final steps, the short time that remains, in which each one of us becomes karmatit and complete, let us truly learn how to take sustenance from one and share that divine sustenance with others around us. You know, the Dadis, when they created the air quality souls who became the first instruments to serve in Bharat, they didn't, what did they have? They had Baba's love in their hearts. They had Baba's drishti in their eyes. They carried the treasures of God's wisdom in their intellects. That's it. They didn't have money. They didn't have skills. They didn't have equipment. They didn't have even vegetables to eat. They had wheat and salt. And out of that, all this has happened that we see in terms of service across the world. But they knew how to sustain themselves. They knew how to be able to share that divine sustenance with others. And so I know that in this period now, even the support that you've had from this program is wonderful. But now it's time to say, thank you, Baba. Thank you, each and every instrument who has made all of this happen. But now it's time that we sustain ourselves and sustain others so that we're able to travel to the final destination. And so I see this also as part of the ever-changing drama moving forward. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for your patience and waiting very patiently today. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Didi, for your rendering on sustenance. And it was amazing, as you said, the last word hit on the nail that, yes, we have to sustain ourselves now through the self and by our connection with the Supreme. And just a quick 3 announcements before you go. So all these people were requesting that we want to be sustained more through these series. So we are planning to start something called Arts for Life series. So we are doing the arts, the 16 celestial once every month. We'll see how it goes. And then also all the people were inspired here. We have in our team Taran's sister who's there from Vancouver. So we are planning to come up with the book of Values for Life series, 2 volumes, where all the senior Raj Yogis have written so much. So I think we'll see you shortly. I'll inform you on emails because you have to keep going now. Thank you.
Look forward to that. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you, Didi. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, so I think she had to leave for the next meeting. We are 1 minute late. So over to Sister Anu for the announcements. And then Sister Claudia will be
we have Didi Mohini's video.
So we're also fortunate. I wanted to announce that as well, but Didi was just in a motion to leave. So we are very fortunate that Mohini Didi also has just a 1 minute blessing video which we would like to share with all of you. She's given us blessings on this series which we have conducted. So we'll play that first, followed by the announcements, and then over to Sister Claudia for the closing meditation. Thank you. So Nikhil Bhai is playing, or Sister Anu, who is playing?
Yeah, give a few minutes, seconds. Nikhil bhai, are you able to do? No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So no one's ready. All are sustaining each other. So you all
Yeah,
want to do
I
it from
can do
WhatsApp?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, take your time. No worries. In the meantime, you want me to do the announcements, or you'll do it on your own? That's fine. I'll do it. Okay. So let us just quickly look at the announcements, the upcoming things. All of you are excited. I'm sure you're feeling from inside, oh, this journey is getting over. But don't worry, every journey ends for a new journey to begin, right? So we are still not finished. So bear with us, because we are having this last workshop, 108. Again, two beautiful souls from the UK. So it is Shashi sister and Sister Mani, both very senior instruments serving in the UK for over almost 40 years, I must say. And they will be sharing their beautiful wisdom on what sustenance they got from the divine, and through Jayanti Didi, because she's the instrument there locally, and also how they are sustaining themselves. So it will be a wonderful experience to listen to them during the workshop. That is, as always, on the Saturday, 1 week from now, on the 8th of Feb. The time remains the same as we start 8 p.m. India time, and the West Coast time, 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And finally, we wrap up, we close with the silence retreat. As Sister Jayanti also had said, the last closing words, that let's connect our sustenance from the divine now. So let's do that in the silence retreat. I would really urge, it's a request from our side, that if all of you can join for the silence retreat in big numbers and experience the flavor of this, that what do we do in this 2 hours? It will be a wonderful experience. Just ignore that thing written for BK students. You all can also join. And as always, we are just so fortunate that the instruments from Vancouver are helping us to come out with this beautiful book, The Churnings, what we have learned so much over the past 4.5 years roughly. It's coming in the form of a book. But be patient. We are still not announcing the date when it will come out in the printing, so on and so forth. We are just in the infancy of bringing out this book. So it will take a few months. We'll keep you posted and announce that as well soon. And yes, our next series is starting soon, but we'll have a hiatus or a break for 1 month to give us breathing space to find out what we can do. And it's called Arts for Life. We'll call it series as always, and we'll start it from the Holi period. That's from the Holi festival, I mean. And it's on the 15th of March. We intend to have the first Art for Life. We'll share with you that art is called the art of being still, so practicing stillness. And also we'll be having after that the workshop, which we are very fortunate that two authors who have written down this book, if I could show you all later sometime. The book is mentioned as, it's named as Living as Art, 16 Celestial Degrees. It's by Deborah Castle and Judy Johnson. So they will be conducting the workshop for us. They will be doing a lot of contemplation exercises, meditation exercises after the talk. So that will be the next Saturday after the talk. And then we plan to keep you busy for the entire month, as Sister Claudia has requested. So the third Saturday of the month would be the revision, where we revise over 1 full hour what we had learned in the last 2 Saturdays during the talk and the workshop. And the fourth Saturday, we again end or wind up with the silence retreat. So please latch on to the Arts for Life series. And you can really invite each one, get one, so that people can benefit, and we can, at least through this way, try to give sustenance to others as well. And as always, these are our playlists, the Values for Life series and the Values Workshop series. And you can reach us on our email addresses. Yeah, and as I was telling you last time as well, you can please share your comments, feedbacks, queries. What else do you want in our program? So that we can come up with those. But for the next 16 months, we are keeping you hooked on for the Arts of Life series. So welcome to that.
With this slide, I want to mention that with the slide, Manoj brother, that our email IDs, please check valuesforlifeseries@gmail.com and vancouver@ca.brahmakumaris.org. You can send us a message. If you want a copy of the book, as well as about the new program. So if you send us your email, we can put you in the group if you're not in the group. So yeah, thank you very much. I would also say a word that when something ends is the law of universe. When something ends, it opens up door for something new. And yeah, Didi said so beautifully, thanks to all. And that's true. Thanks to the whole team who were tireless, but they gave dedication and love for the values, because the sharings from our Senior Raj Yogis have definitely brought practical benefit and change to our lives. And in this team, it's a big, huge team from all over the world. You can see all the translators, recorders, and a big team who prepares a lot of things behind the scene, coming together for every week, prepared and ready, and every participant. So it was definitely incredible and wonderful journey throughout the 4 years. And I have personally taken a lot for myself, and I'm sure we all have taken. That's why we are still here. And we are all looking forward for the book as well as the new series to bring practical changes to our life, right? I'm sure we all are. At this point, I think we can see the blessings from Mohini Didi, and followed by a meditation commentary by Sister Claudia.
And also, we have Dr. Mehta who's joined with us. So we'll be taking his words of blessings after you play the video. So
Yeah.
you can just share the video first. Yeah, thank you.
Om Shanti. Values program and 108 programs on different values, I think was excellent idea. And also those who were participating, whether as sharing or listeners, everyone definitely benefited a lot. And I really give my good wishes and congratulations for such an initiative. It has served and it will definitely serve many, many to come. So thank you and congratulations again. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Mohini Didi. Her presence is so powerful. We can feel the energy, though she's in an incognito mode. Right now, as we speak, she also is in Madhuban having a meeting with Jayanti Didi. Therefore, Jayanti Didi had just to fly off. So here we are. And we have our very dear Dr. Ashok Mehta, who's the most senior amongst us age-wise as well. So if you can just spotlight him, and Dr. Mehta, if you can just share your words of wisdom and your blessings on the eve of the last concluding episode. We had sustenance today. So you can tell something about your words of wisdom. Thank you.
Manoj Bhai and Anuben and the whole team of the Values program, I think what you have done is absolutely marvelous. There's no words to describe the long program of 108 episodes you have undertaken with your team in different continents. I think it's an eye-opener for many of us that how you can use a technology to bring the whole world together and discuss the values in its multiple ways. I think it all started with values in healthcare, a spiritual approach, where we all met together. And I think out of this program came this beautiful long innings of 108 by Manoj Bhai, Anuben, and the group. I think you deserve congratulations and many best wishes. I think the most important thing is finally you have reduced also to a printed work of this phenomenal work that we have done. I think it will be certainly a reference book on values, the way I see it being printed. I'm sure that you would continue with your fantastic experience in the arts of life that you're planning next series. I think most obvious thing was that a concept that you developed and the team that you developed along with, and the international speakers who got them together in a long series. I think most of them were wonderful. I think we all enjoyed listening. More important was, I think, the way it was presented. It was presented in a very lucid way. Everyone had a different style, but still, it brought out the knowledge in a different dimension, the knowledge of the Supreme, Baba's knowledge, as we call it. That was a unique way of bringing Baba to the rest of the world. And many people have joined during these programs. I'm sure that they have benefited, and many of them might have joined our Brahma Kumaris Raj Yoga Foundation courses and benefited from it. I think most important is it's a way of bringing life in a different dimension, a spiritual dimension has been added through the values. Manoj Bhai, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be with you all during all these episodes. And Anuben, you too. I have not been very regular in last 20 or 30 episodes, but I've enjoyed every moment, every time I participated, and giving me an opportunity to speak for a few minutes on my best wishes. My best wishes with all of you and the team, and congratulations. Many congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mehta, for you being with us from the beginning. Your blessings have helped us stay enthusiastic and continue in this journey. Of course, we are really blessed to have you from beginning. And I know lately you were not well as well, so we all wish you good health and be with us for longer time as we are continuing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. And actually, I don't know why it's echoing. Well, I must say that you are one of the participants who has been with us maximal number of times. Whenever your health permitted and whenever you were in a internet setting, you made it a point to attend. And your blessings were always in an incognito way with us. So we really, it doesn't matter whether physically you are not there with us, but your blessings are always there with us. Thank you so much for being there and for supporting us in this initiative. And I will now request Sister Claudia, before she goes on to the meditation, the closing meditation and the concluding meditation for Values for Life, to also share a few words of her experiences on this program which we did. So over to Sister Claudia. Thank you.
Om Shanti. When Manoj Bhai talked with me for the first time and asked about us doing this program together, I quite liked the idea. And it was quite a good journey because we talked about many times which one we were going to invite, what new one is going to be. So it was 4 years of sharing between India and Vancouver. So it's almost impossible, I would say, to be able to work together in a big project like that without being see each other physically, but only through the WhatsApp or meetings or deciding things through phone calls. So which one should we call? Which one you know? Which one? Send me the sometimes send me the the reference or whatever the other one wants to speak, the speaker. So it's a very nice, I think, work together, all of us who are here tonight, taking care of this program. Because if it was not for each one, we could not have done this. I could have talked to Manoj and program this program, but we could not do if we don't have everyone else. The ones who are on the team, the ones who are the IT, the help from Anu too, taking care of all these hosts and all those interpreters, and the ones who are going to also do the recording. So to those who send the recording, prepare the recording to send out. So it was so much work, but it was wonderful. So much wonderful that I told Manoj, we cannot stop. So I told him he wants to stop. I said, no, we cannot stop. We have to keep going. So that's why we decided to go for the new part that's called the Arts for Life. So the Art for Life we are going to have every Saturday in a different way, because sometimes people think that's too long or too many people talk about the same subject. So we are going to start giving a little break and then start a new program, the new series in a very different way, but very important as well. So thank you very much to each one of you. And then with my heart, I say thanks to you.
Can take a photo. I know we can add
Please take
videos later, but
just to be clear.
yeah. So everyone, you can
And
open your video.
I
Yes.
think the concluding episode has the maximum number of participants. So I think people want to be clicked. So you have to really see
Yes.
how many photos you can click. Yeah.
Open your videos and I'm taking it. I know I can see everyone's smiling faces. There you go. If you haven't opened your video, you can still open your video. And great smiles. I can see that. More faces. Beautiful, beautiful. My goodness. Open your video. We'll wait for a few seconds. Everybody's opening, still opening. Beautiful. Didi said such beautiful words for sustenance. So let these smiles be sustained from the divine every moment, always.
And in the meantime, it just reminds me, I'm just sharing this thought with every one of you. First of all, a big thanks to all the participants. As I said, today we have the maximum number because it was Didi Jayanti speaking. So thank you for being a regular participant. And I would appreciate if you can, the Arts for Life series, we don't want your interference in the sense we have the topics already, the 16 arts which we mentioned. So that will start from March this year till June 2026. So till Mama's Day, we'll be having the concluding episode next year. After that, you have to raise your mind or brainstorm, and please send us topics what you want so that we can approach our senior Raj Yogis and have a talk on whatever you want to hear about, apart from the values and arts, because I think we have done a lot on values. Same thing on arts we'll do. And please keep sending us emails, because your suggestions and comments are important for us to know where we can improve. I'm sure we are doing a good job, you're enjoying, but there's always scope for improvement. So please let us know your thoughts. So with this, we will just move on to the closing meditation. Sister Claudia, over to you.
Thanks.
Om Shanti. Let's take a moment in silence and go inside ourselves. Inside of me, there is a very special place where I can go and sustain myself. I sustain myself by giving peace, by being content in life. When I am content, everyone around me is also content. Let's take this moment and ask yourself, in this busy life, how much time I take to sustain I, the soul. We take sometimes lots for the body, but without a happy soul, the body cannot work. That is why I need the time to go within, to get that connection with the divine being who is always there for me, always, like a mother, like a father, like a friend, is always there, helping me to make me grow, so I can pass through the difficulties of life, being a victorious soul. Let's never forget ourselves. Never, never forget the Supreme Being who is out there waiting for me. And then in that connection, I can be happy, be healthy, be content. Everything I need in life. I don't need much. I just need to be who I am, which is a peaceful, happy, and healthy soul. Om Shanti.
The time is here to see the way I see you, a shining light, immortal and eternal. I'm right here by your side, whispering the truth of who you really are. The time has come to shed your earthly garment, to take your place as masters of time and space. There's nothing left to fear. Just take my hand and I will lead you back home. Spread your angel wings and fly. The gravity of love will take you higher. This I promise you, my child. The time has come. We're all going home. Going home. We're all going home. We're all going home. Spread your angel wings and fly. The gravity of love will take you higher. This I promise you, my child. The time has come. We're all going home.
Thank you so much, Sister Claudia. See you all next Saturday.
See you all next Saturday. Thank you, everyone. Keep flying.